My name's Selman Markovic. I'm the owner of Gotham City FX. To my right,
Kevin Murphy.
Brett Ryan.
I keep telling everyone I'm the worst part of Gotham City FX, so I decided to hire people much better than I am. So that would be Kevin Murphy here. He's my lead sculptor. Brett as well. He's a sculptor, mold maker, airbrush artist. And little by little, we've been bringing on people that have the right type of skills for the type of work that we're trying to do. It started about 3 years ago. I had absolutely no experience, no talent in this, and I wanted to make a Batman costume for myself for Halloween. And I contacted a couple of FX artists that were out, and I found out how much they actually charge for one. And I decided that I was never going to spend that money. So instead I invested it into just buying a couple of materials, a little latex, a little urethane, a little silicone, and kind of grew from there. So 3 years forward, you know, we've got a pretty solid team that's doing some pretty cool stuff. We've done about 5 different charity projects where we brought the Bat Pod and costumes out for. We did the MegaCon convention here in Orlando back in February. We did the Dark Knight Rise premiere this past week. We've been really fortunate that we kind of got our name out there with doing a few pieces here or there, whether it was Batman related or other characters. And we've had an influx of emails and calls, whether it's private collectors, fan films, independent films, or even G4 television using some of our stuff for their parodies. So they'll call us and detail what they need, whether it's a full-size costume or a prop, and then give us a budget and a time limit to do it in. They say they need it in 3 days. We're going to do around-the-clock work and make sure that we hit that deadline. If it's a private collector or independent film, they'll give us a timeline of a month or two, and depending on what's involved with the project, we'll start piecing it out and sending each part to them. So it does vary depending on the complexity of the costume, how much time will be dedicated. It could be anything from just a few days to a couple months of work.
Yeah, rubber can only cure so fast in some cases. Even though there's little secrets, you're usually pushing those secrets right to the brink.
We're pushing it to the brink all the time. Yeah, we'll have molds literally collapse on us because they're screaming in pain, please don't cast us anymore. We're pushing all of the materials to their limits, but we're still getting it done, and we're still learning. That's the key thing, is this is still very new, and if we're not, I made that speech to them today, if we're not learning something every single week, we're not doing our job. So we have to experiment, we have to try something, and it is like chemistry. It's like, what happens if we do this and this? Okay, that's bad, let's not do that again.
Don't do it again.
But then once we discover some new trade, new trick on how to get more efficient or get a better resulting product, we start running with that. And the running joke when people ask like what we will build, what we won't build, you know, as a business model, we have to pretty much build whatever someone's going to budget us for. So I always said, if some rich guy comes to me and says he wants a 20-foot life-size Barney statue, you know, in purple fur, I'm going to hate him. I'm going to hate him. But if he has the budget and the time, I will build it and I will give it to him, and I'll ask him not to credit us. G4 originally wanted a Dark Knight costume back in January, February. We did that for them. We also provided them with a Bane mask replica that we made. And then less than a month ago, they needed an Adam West costume. And then they created that little segment on their show called Batman and Batman Dating Advice. And it had a 60s Adam West Batman next to Bale's deep voice Dark Knight. And they're doing like a daytime talk show. And it's hysterical, you know, to see any of our stuff on that kind of level. I mean, it sends chills down us. If I can just keep doing that, I'm perfectly happy. I'm already talking to a couple of good welder buddies, such as Parker Brothers, about developing a full-size tumbler. I can't build it in my shop because there's not enough space, or I would have already started. I already had the tires. That was the first thing I bought. I just had big tires just sitting there, and I had a little 1/6 scale replica sitting on top of the tires. And I kept taking pictures of it every day, like soon, one day. And then now that I actually had the Batman, I'm like, yeah, I really need the car. One of the modifications I want to do to the guns is actually put paintball markers in there with electronic triggers. I have some twisted ideas. You should come by more often.
Yeah, it's like with Iron Man with working rockets.
He's not kidding. No, he's not kidding. I'm planning on having that prepped and ready by next year's film. I'd like in the next year for that to actually come to pass. And I think to the people in the outside world that don't understand how popular Batman is to us, there is a whole underground movement. It's not just Nolan and his films. It goes back to Keaton and the '89 and Returns. As much as I don't like the Schumacher films, I still kind of grew up with them a little bit. I liked Batman Forever. Batman and Robin, they kind of lost me on. But still, it's all Batman films, and I still loved all of them. And there's a whole community, whether you're talking about children, teenagers, people in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, that just absolutely love the franchise.